the show. We know that you joined the cast last year of the Secret Life of the American Teenager, and talk to us a little bit about the show, how you feel about your character, and basically the impact. I know that there's a lot of impact that the show is making with young teens today. You know, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, for sure. My character's Chloe. I came in this past season, and I was only supposed to be there for an episode.
Okay.
And I came in and had a blast, and they were like, "We want you." So it was like this amazing experience, and I just felt so blessed that I got to be a part of everything, and that they were so loyal to me. They used me a lot, and it was so much fun. And I happened to sneak in on that last season where like kind of everything was wrapping up, which was really cool. And you got to there was a lot of drama, a lot of storyline, and they wrote really fun things for my character, especially someone who like came from such a dark place.
Yeah.
I was like, a prostitute and dealing with these really dark, deep things when I came into the show, and then they kind of gave me this fairy tale life to deal with. So that was really fun to get to play that and actually get to play the humor of this girl who's just a normal girl who got, sucked down a weird path. Yeah. So that was really cool. And I think in terms of like what the show does for teens, I think teens love it, and a lot of people love it because it's just like a sneak into secrets that teenagers have, and that there are all kinds of secrets. And these are some secrets that teenagers may have, and you're not alone with anything, which I think is really cool.
I think that's something very important that you just said, knowing that you're not alone. I know that, I'm not a teenager anymore, but when you're going through those phases, different phases in your life, we do look to TV for comparison, and I think it's really great that the show itself really just portrays, like you said, those secrets that teenagers deal with on a daily basis. And, they might be afraid to talk to their parents about them. They have each other, but also to shed some light on those topics that, so many, again, teens struggle with, and again, how to deal with them, which I think is great. What is something that you're very passionate about in your life?
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I'm the most passionate in my life about babies. I think some people are just born knowing that they're going to be mommy someday, and it's not any day soon. But I've always known, even when I was a baby, I loved babies, and I taught preschool for a while, and it's like my number one passion. And it's such a weird one for someone my age. I feel like not a lot of people can relate to that. But
as a mom myself, I'm going to tell you, take your time.
I've heard that. Yeah, and I will, and I think it's healthy to, make sure that you have grown into who you're going to be before you go down that road. So,
how do you define beauty?
How do I define beauty? I guess. I mean, it sounds cheesy. Like I don't want to say that it comes from within, but I think I guess it's about happiness more than anything, and I think happiness can show itself in all different ways. Yeah. I think happy people are the most beautiful. They're always kind of exuding this light of happiness, and I think, you can find what you're passionate for and work towards that. But if you're not happy in the process and you're working towards some goal in the end, it shows, So especially with something like acting, and I see that a lot in my life, people who, they want to be famous. They want to, they want to get an Academy Award. There's like an end goal, and they're not enjoying the journey, and it's like, you're not happy. Yeah. And that's not beautiful to me. So I think beauty has to do with enjoying your ride.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love that you what you just said. You know, you kind of remind me of, like, you know, you have like this aura of like an old soul kind of in there, you know, where you're giving. Well, you know what it is, because I think that a lot of young actresses, you know, coming out and or up and coming, etc. And this whole idea of fame for the sake of fame, when really what you're harboring is a craft. You know, acting is a craft, and it's an artwork in itself. And you have to cultivate it and work at it. And like you said, if your end goal is just to get an award or be at a premiere, or, you know what I mean, then you're really missing out on what that whole journey can look like for yourself. And I love that
it's scary for a lot of people because it doesn't guarantee happiness.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people get to that point where they are getting famous or whatever, and they realize that doesn't make you happy either. And it's like, you really have to love what you do.
Yeah. So who inspires you?
I would say strong, funny women in the industry inspire me career-wise.
Yeah.
You know, a Tina Fey would inspire me. I worked with Nicole Sullivan from Mad TV for a couple of years, and she was incredibly inspirational to me. Career-wise, I think it's so difficult to be strong and funny, and you just have to be ballsy as a woman in this industry. So it's like, when you see that and see people being able to do it all, they're able to balance a family life and their careers, it's incredibly inspirational to me. And in terms of life, my mom, very close with her. She's an incredible woman, and I think it's always just been me and my mom against the world, and you know, it's just been me and her. I'm an only child raised by a single mom, so it's very inspirational to me, and an incredibly strong woman who showed me so much love, like enough love for an entire family. She's my sister, my mom, my father, everything, and was able to provide all of that, which is incredibly inspirational.
Where do you source? Where do you go to whenever you're feeling down? You're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. What keeps you going? What keeps you grounded?
I definitely do much better with friends than alone.
Yeah.
I think I'm an only child. I don't have family around me. My family's on the East Coast. So other than my mom, you know, and who's working mom and everything, I've spent a lot of time alone, and it's hard. So when I get friends and that sense of family that you've created for yourself and they're around me, I'm fueled. Like,
so what would be your one piece of advice to any girl out there that is trying to accomplish her dreams, whether it be in acting or just living her life? What would be the one piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say kind of along the lines of the beauty question, you know, feeling beautiful and making sure that the thing that you're doing makes you happy moment to moment, day to day. There are going to be hard times, obviously, when you're working towards something. There's plateaus. Things get, you know, stale for a while and then they pick up. But at the same time, if you're not enjoying the ride, then you're losing out on so much time. I spent my life as a kid as a ballerina. And I worked every day towards that. And when I look back on it, I realized how much I hated it. How much I really hated it. I don't remember loving it. I remember being in pain. I remember torturing myself trying to be this ballerina. One day I was going to be at American Ballet Theater, and I was going to be this, you know, prima ballerina. And every day I killed myself to do this. And I got there to American Ballet Theater, and I looked back going, where's my life? This doesn't make me happy, and I lost all these years of working towards something that actually is not what I thought. And I didn't enjoy the ride, and I learned so much from that experience, was just to find your happiness in the journey. And I think that's so hard to do, and so hard to actually really like commit to yourself to, especially when you're looking at something like acting, which is so glamorous. From the outside, when you're looking at it from TV, and it looks like, oh, this is... And it's like, no, you really have to enjoy the nitty-gritty stuff. You have to love being on a set, which is not the most glamorous place. You know, it's it's work. It's hours and hours of work. And 200 people, a crew, you know, working. You have to enjoy all of that. So that would be my advice, is just step by step, trying to make sure, does this make me happy? Do I love this?
Yeah.
What do I love about it?
Yeah.
And forward, you know, like find those things that you do love.
Okay.